Hi, I'm Diane and welcome to my channel. This is Seems Easy. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a bow for your dog's collar. You're going to need 2 pieces of cotton fabric, rectangles cut 7 inches by 5 inches, and then a square of the same fabric cut 3.5 inch square. You're also going to need a hair elastic as shown in the picture here. We're going to sew the very center of the bow first, the little knot. We're going to take our 3.5 inch square and fold it and sew a 1/4 inch seam down just one side. Okay, we're going to turn this right side out and press it. All right, we have this pressed. Now we're going to take the hair band and we're going to position it about 1/2 inch from the edge on the wrong side, the side with the seam. We pressed it with the seam in the middle on one side and completely flat on the other. So now we're just going to stitch across that, try to get it even in the middle. We're just going to stitch back and forth a little bit. So now fold it with the other side, the right side together with this being on the wrong side, and we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch from the raw edges. Okay, it's not necessary to trim these corners, but I usually do, just to reduce that bulk. Now we're just going to turn this right side out and put it aside for a few minutes while we work on the main bow. Okay. So there is the center knot of our bow, and these elastics will go around the dog's collar. Okay, now we have the 2 large pieces, and we're going to put them right sides together and stitch around the outside edge 1/4 inch from the edge. We're going to leave about 1.5 inches or 2 inches open on one of the long sides so that we can turn it right side out. We're going to pivot at the corners and then we're going to trim the corners. Okay. Now we're just going to trim these corners before we turn it right side out to reduce the bulk on those corners, and they'll be a sharp point. We're going to go turn it right side out and press it. Okay, now before I turn it right side out, I am going to kind of roll back these edges where it's not stitched and just press that so that it lays flat when it's turned right side out, because it's a lot easier to do it now than it is to do it once it's turned. Okay, now I'll just turn that around. And then I use this little gadget to push out my corners. You can use anything that's not going to push through, something that's kind of a soft point, but enough to get that point out. All right. Now, so here's our opening. And you can see why I pressed those seam edges down before turning it, because it's nice, laying nice and flat in there now. Right. All right, there we go. There's our main bow, and it's lying nice and flat. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to top stitch about 1/8 of an inch from the edge all the way around, and that will seal up this opening. Okay, so this is our main bow. This is our knot, and it's got the elastic strap sewn in there. So we're going to take this bigger piece, fold it in half, and then fold it again. Okay. I like to have it with the two folds toward the front. Now we need to thread this through our knot. I use a bodkin. You can use a safety pin, or you can just push it through. It shouldn't be very hard to do, but push it through so that the two folds are on top and these elastics are toward the back. And then smooth out all the folds so that it's lying exactly flat. And position the elastics so that they are in the back of the bow. Remember, the front of the bow is where the two folds are up. Now make sure that it's even on both sides, and for this size it needs to be about 2 3/8 inches on either side, so it's got to go a little bit more. Now so just flatten that. All right. Now the rest we have to do by hand with a needle and thread. Okay. And we will do that from the back. And what I'm going to do is, without stitching through this elastic, I'm going to catch the bottom of the bow there and then just do 3 or 4 stitches to hold that middle of the bow in place. Now, this elastic will go onto the dog's collar and it'll hold it in place. Now, for a male dog, I would put it on the collar on either side of the tag so that this hangs in the front. For a female dog, what I do is I twist these elastic loops around a little bit, a couple times, and then slide it onto the collar and position it opposite the tag so that it hangs or so that it lays on the back of your female dog's neck, looking like a a bow on the back of her neck instead of a bow tie. There you go. The instructions I've given you here will make a large bow. I have instructions for the bow in 3 sizes, large, medium, and small. If you're interested in seeing all of these, you may visit my Etsy store. See the link in the video description. This has been another Seams Easy video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.